Imagine you're deep in the endless, snow-covered forests of North America. The air is so cold it burns your lungs. Around you, there's only the crunching silence of winter, occasionally broken by the distant howl of a wolf or the snap of a branch under the weight of snow. But then, another sound, a soft crack in the undergrowth that doesn't sound quite right. A shadow flits between the trees, too big, too thin, too fast for a normal animal. A feeling of icy fear creeps up your spine, an unnatural coldness that has nothing to do with the weather. Could it be? Could something be lurking out here, in this unforgiving wilderness? Something the old legends speak of? A creature born of hunger and desperation. The Wendigo? The stories of the Wendigo are deeply rooted in the beliefs of the Algonquian-speaking peoples of North America, including the Ojibwe, Cree, and Naskapi. These legends go back centuries, long before European settlers set foot on the continent. They tell of a being that was once human but was transformed by a dark act, usually cannibalism, committed in times of dire need and famine during harsh winters. This act, the breaking of the ultimate taboo, corrupts not only the body but also the spirit. The human becomes a Wendigo, a creature of insatiable hunger, especially for human flesh. Descriptions vary, but it's often depicted as grotesquely emaciated, almost skeletal, yet simultaneously huge and supernaturally strong. Its skin is ashen or translucent, its eyes glow eerily, and sometimes it's described with torn lips or missing toes, as if consuming itself in its madness. The Wendigo isn't just a physical threat. It's also a symbol of greed, excess, and the loss of humanity. But are these just old scary stories, meant to frighten children or warn of the dangers of isolation and starvation? Surprisingly, reports that echo the old legends continue to surface even in modern times. Hikers, hunters, or residents of remote communities tell of uncanny encounters in the deep woods. They report unexplainable noises, the feeling of being watched, or even fleeting glimpses of a tall, gaunt figure moving with unnatural speed. Sometimes, strange tracks are found in the snow, or screams are heard that don't belong to any known animal. Photos or videos, of course, those exist too, often in the typical style of cryptozoology evidence. Shaky, blurry, taken from a great distance. Their credibility is usually hard to assess. Are they hoaxes, misinterpretations, or perhaps fleeting glimpses of something unknown? The wilderness is vast and still holds many secrets. What does science say about it? Naturally, there's no recognized proof of the existence of a monstrous being like the Wendigo. Many of the alleged sightings can possibly be explained by known animals. A black bear standing on its hind legs can appear surprisingly large, especially if emaciated by illness or hunger. Psychological factors also play a significant role. In the extreme isolation and cold of the wilderness, fear and paranoia can easily distort perception. Hallucinations aren't out of the question under such conditions. Particularly interesting is the concept of Wendigo psychosis, a historically described, culture-bound syndrome where individuals developed an intense fear of turning into a Wendigo, or believed they were possessed by its spirit, which could lead to cannibalistic urges. Although the existence of this specific psychosis is debated today, it shows how deeply the fear of the Wendigo was rooted in the culture and how real the psychological effects of hunger and isolation can be. But of course, it wouldn't be a proper monster myth story without a few truly curious and outlandish theories. Beyond the classic explanations, imagination blossoms. Some believe the Wendigo isn't a spirit or transformed being, but a hitherto undiscovered primate species adapted to cold regions. Others speculate about extraterrestrial experiments or even beings from another dimension entering our world through some portal. In the internet age, the Wendigo has also made a career as a creepypasta figure, often detached from its cultural roots and reinterpreted. There are even absurd ideas that certain fast food chains secretly use Wendigo meat. Complete nonsense, of course, but entertaining. These wild speculations primarily show one thing: the Wendigo stimulates our imagination and leaves room for the craziest ideas. This fascination is naturally reflected in pop culture. The Wendigo has found its way into countless books, movies, television series, and video games. Just think of Stephen King's novel, Pet Sematary, where the Wendigo plays a sinister role in the background, or the series Supernatural, where the Hunter brothers hunt a very physical version of the monster. The horror game Until Dawn even made the Wendigo a central antagonist, heavily shaping its appearance, often with antlers, which is less common in the original myths. These portrayals are often very effective and scary, but they frequently simplify or alter the original myth. They shape our modern image of the Wendigo, which sometimes has more in common with a generic forest monster than with the complex cultural symbol it once was. And this is perhaps the most exciting point. What does the Wendigo mean to us today, beyond scary stories and pop culture? It's more than just a monster. It's a powerful metaphor. In a world often driven by greed and insatiable consumption, be it for resources, power, or attention, the Wendigo reminds us of the destructive consequences of such excess. It embodies the fear of losing our humanity, of our desires consuming us and turning us into something unrecognizable. The fascination with such creatures perhaps also shows our engagement with the darker sides of human nature and the wilderness, both external and internal. The Wendigo challenges us to think about our relationship with nature, with our fellow human beings, and with our own desires. It's an echo from a time when survival was a daily struggle, but its warning against uncontrolled hunger is perhaps more relevant today than ever. So, what remains of the Wendigo myth? An ancient legend, deeply rooted in the culture of North American peoples, born from the hardships of winter and the fear of the unthinkable. Modern reports and speculations keep the question of its existence alive, even if concrete evidence is lacking and rational explanations often seem more plausible. At the same time, the Wendigo lives on as a fascinating symbol and popular figure in our culture, constantly reinterpreted and adapted. Whether as a spirit, monster, or metaphor, the Wendigo seems to strike a nerve and continues to captivate us. And now it's your turn. What do you think? Does this icy creature of the woods really exist, perhaps as an undiscovered species or a supernatural phenomenon? Or is it just a fascinating myth that aims to teach us something about ourselves? Be sure to write it in the comments. We're eager to hear your opinion. And if you like this video, give us a thumbs up and subscribe to MMK, Monster-Myths-Kreaturen, for more exciting stories from the world of the unknown. Until next time.